Creation's Journey to Life. Day 3. Resistance to Change. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that resistance to change is indicating the control, the accepted and allowed patterns of my current limited version of me as self-interest that occupies the space and time that I realize I must change to become that which is best for all life as me in the part I am as participation in the current accepted whole as the one system that exists as humanity and this world. I forgive myself that I have placed so much emphasis on the ideas I have based on the mind reality, that I have never bothered to find out how systems of acceptance actually become physical and occupy space-time to control what I have allowed myself to be. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed the automated self as the integral mind patterns that has become the accepted version of me to run the physical as the idea of me, regardless of the fact that it would participate as me without consideration of what is best for all life. I forgive myself that through this I have remained an active part in allowing a system of abuse on earth to continue, as I have placed so much emphasis on how I feel that I have regarded any change to be a threat to me just because it is an experience of resistance to be invalid, as it compromised me feeling in control and feeling as if I have achieved some value without considering that what I feel is not valid till all life is supported equal in every way. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to become chained by my pre-programming and that I have refused to consider that when I pull on the chain of my pre-programming, that it will resist as I have to unchain the pre-programming shackle by shackle till I get the whole system before I can replace it with a new that is best for all life in every way. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to try and fix the chains of my pre-programming by looking for quick fixes that would mean I do not have to go all the way in removing that which is not best for all life, as I could replace just the parts I deem necessary without considering that unless I in fact investigate every part, I can never be certain that I am doing what is best for all. And while I am doing it, to be certain, I should remove all the chains, and in this way I will be certain and thus prevent the reoccurrence of a similar form of shackle existence that may only place shackles on others, yet it would be me as well as I am others in another life. I forgive myself that I have not allowed myself to see that writing myself to freedom actually means writing myself to freedom in a practical, physical way. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to be dominated by my ignorance of how reality really functions through the acceptance of the mind as the chain that control the chain reaction. And just because this chain reaction do not lead to immediate consequence, I have refused to see how action and reaction and cause and effect actually create that we have accepted as this reality. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to find it acceptable that others may suffer by the effect I cause while I take time to sort out my priorities without regard that at this moment, while I am occupied, another is in a position that will improve faster if I act immediately and with sustained consistency till that which is best for all life is here in every way. I commit myself to accept resistance when I walk the change, as the way I remove that which I have accepted and allowed until that time, and to realize that the resistance will stop once I have removed the pre-programmed idea of self. I commit myself to seek out resistance in every way, as that is my roadmap to find what I still allow as the limited pre-programmed version of myself. I commit myself to not stop till I have found every resistance that exists as part of me and have freed myself from the ignorance I have given the idea of life to in the age of my self-interest. I commit myself to never give up no matter what till there is no more resistance to that which is best for all life in every way forevermore. I commit myself to investigate and come to know how the mind becomes the physical system, that I may be prepared to never allow this to happen to any being that come to this world in any way whatsoever. I commit myself to understand how I have allowed myself to become the pre-programmed version of the idea of life that could walk this earth without an inkling of compassion for those that were less fortunate, and without any compassion to face the discomfort of the resistance I must go through to remove the systems of self-interest that I have allowed myself to become. I commit myself to understand and walk the time required to clear the space of me from all that preoccupied me to not be here as life, as what is best for all life. I commit myself to capture the integral mind patterns I have allowed myself to become on paper as they occur, that I may have the evidence of what it is I must remove from my flesh forevermore, that I may be free from the delusion of the lack of compassion and consideration for life, for all parts of life. I commit myself to find every way possible to create a system that will support life, and to direct my active participation to find ways that would educate those not awake to the reality of the pre-programmed existence until all walk as one, to take the task upon them to bring a world that is best for all life. I commit myself to unchain the systems I have become shackle by shackle within me and within all others like me till this is done. I commit myself to make sure all others will understand how to unshackle their own chains as I walk in support, as this is necessary, that all understand how we have become that which is not life, so that we, through understanding, prevent this from ever happening again, as we will be able equally to recognize the signs of the chains that cause this hackling and abuse of life. I commit myself to stand with each that choose to stand till this is done, and through such support it will be as if I have walked it myself. Yet each would have walked themselves to life. Yet they were not alone, as we walk as one, yet as self-responsible for self. I commit myself to never indulge in the urge of quick fixes, as I know that fixes in many occasions lead to a mess that requires a rewalking of the correction. I will walk it the first time complete, and thus prevent any unnecessary mistakes just because I allow the mind to influence the idea of so-called quick fixes. I am not here to create myself as a fast food franchise, but as life that will stand the test of time in every way it must. I commit myself to writing myself to life. I commit myself to not allow me to ignore any point, no matter how trivial it may seem, that I may never be able to claim ignorance again and get away with it. I commit myself to prioritize my life to that which is best for me in the way that is best for all life, realizing that I cannot do it all, but what I do, I must do well, and in the full understanding and certainty that I will produce me as the optimum life form here that will be best for the process to life. I commit myself to consistency in action, with the understanding that as I walk to life, that which I become as life will become easier through time, and I accept the pressure and resistance that will go along with the reintegration of that which is best for all life, as I understand that the resistance are the indicator that makes the reality of the process measurable.